All right, everyone, this is Audrey Jarvis. I am going to show you the game plan for my game of life, so gamifying child development. Okay, so these are all of the files that are available on that Google Drive folder. Here are each of the folders that they are within. I will start with the game rules. All right, so as you can see, I use my own Bitmojis on this, and you can as well. You just need to write out these explanations on yours if you make a copy of the rules for yourself. All right, so the game of life, the setup. You are a parent of a young child and your second child is already on their way. With your oldest child, you felt totally unprepared for their birth and the parenting process. So now you plan to work hard to learn more about children and how they develop. Along the way, you'll have chances to improve the life of yourself and your family by earning money, which can be used to buy perks for yourself and your family. Really, it's just for them, but they, to go with the game plan, their family included too. Okay, so the rules, they can spin the wheel once a week to move their car that many spaces. From Oriental Trading, they have a spin the wheel sort of thing. It was in their wedding section, and it was let's get this party started or something is what it said at the top. I got it for my wedding, and then I just painted over the whole thing and drew numbers on each of the parts of the wheel. So you could do something that too. I'm sure you can find other wheel spinning type things elsewhere, but this one was only $25 or $20, so it was pretty good. Okay, so they can spin it once a week to move their car, and I will show you the player pieces. They can earn extra spins and chance cards by completing optional work and having outstanding classroom behavior. And then they can use the money, the life bucks that they earn, to buy awesome perks for themselves. Okay, so the cards, all right, they're going to start the game by choosing a career. They can either choose to work with children or not work with children in their career. Okay, if they choose the non-child centered career path, they start the game with 40,000 life bucks, and they will receive 2 guaranteed paydays in the first chapter. It's kind of like the trade-offs for the college, not college in Game of Life. Okay, so if they choose the child center though one, they have to pay. They lose $20,000. They just start with $20,000, assumingly for college costs or whatever. And they only receive, and you know what, you can make it less than that too. And they only receive 1 guaranteed payday in the first chapter. And when I say guaranteed payday, that means if they get a chance card that says automatic payday, they could get another payday. Okay. The child related careers, I am making them worth certain perks later in the game. For example, on some of the action cards, it might say you have to take your child for 7 cavities, give 5,000 to the pediatric dentist. And whichever student is holding the pediatric dentist career card, that student has to give them 5,000. Now, it may be that nobody in the class has a pediatric dentist card because they just didn't happen to choose it randomly, in which case then they just give it to the bank. But there are some perks to having those careers later in the game. I think I have another one where it's the child psychologist, and it's your child experiences some trauma at daycare, and then they don't suffer that trauma if they have a specific type of childcare, which I'll talk about with the childcare cards and their perks. But it might say, they suffer trauma at daycare, pay 5,000 to the child psychologist for therapy sessions, whatever. Okay? All right. The action cards, these are the heart of the game, and this is where I'm going to need you guys' help the most. They are what kids draw whenever they land on a blank space, which is going to be the majority of the time that they roll. They will land on a blank space. The cards can either have positive or negative outcomes, just like in the Game of Life. So it can be hey, your child did this, so you get this amount of money, or this happened but nothing happens, or your child did this, so you lose this amount of money, etc., etc. And what's great about these is that you can customize them each to each unit you're learning about, to make sure that those cards are mixed in with the random cards that don't have to do with any of the units. So what I would do is I would just change the action card front and write down pregnancy for the pregnancy unit for all the pregnancy cards and have those on the front. And an example of a pregnancy card, action card that I would use during that unit of teaching would be something you have an ectopic pregnancy, minus 5,000, pay 5,000 to the OBGYN, which is another childcare career. So then there's a perk for them. And then if you haven't talked about ectopic pregnancies yet, then that's a chance to discuss them with the students. Okay. And then, there's tons of different things for when you're talking about like intellectual and physical development of the children, that you could incorporate into those action cards. Okay. Or, when you talk about types of parenting or the parenting process, be like, your child walked you out of the room and screamed at you or something because you used too much authoritarian parenting style, minus 10,000, something like that would work. Okay. So those are the heart of it. I have a place on that Google Drive folder where I didn't make it so you could edit any of the other documents, because when I did that at first, I had somebody come in and delete all of the cards that were in there. I'm sure they didn't mean to, and they just thought that they were, adding them to their drive, but they deleted all of them. So I've taken that option away, except for the action cards that I want you guys to add to, and which I can make another video showing you how to do that, how to work with Google Draw to do this. But anyway, next thing. After the first chapter, you will have them pick a childcare card. This is like a replacement for the buying a home in the game. So they have to choose a childcare situation for their child. You can set it up however you want. Like you can, have them choose like 3 cards face down and they have to pick one of those 3, or you can let them choose from all 9, which one they exactly want, whatever. Each childcare situation is going to have its own drawbacks and benefits. So if you look at those childcare cards, which we will in a little bit, you'll be able to see them further. All right. Lose a spin card. So this is what I'm using to really guide classroom behavior into a positive way. So you can give a kid a lose a spin card for whatever reason you want, but reasons that I would do it would be for if they have really negative classroom behavior, like talking back, or God forbid, try to curse you out or something. If the big one for me is not turning in homework, because my district makes it so that we have to put in a lot of effort to get their homework from them, way more than they have to actually do the homework. Like before we can give them a 0, we have to give them attention, and then we have to give them refer them to their administrator and have them have a Thursday or a Saturday school, Thursday night or Saturday school. And it's this whole big thing that I hate doing. So I would definitely give it if they're missing a homework assignment. And then they cannot spin the wheel they cannot spin the wheel for that week. So that way, they might have it at the end of the year and might end up losing money from their total, but they can't spin the wheel that week if they possess a lose a spin card. Okay. Block cards. Okay. These cards are going to be really good for advancing their how far they go and they're standing in the game, because they can cancel out any of the negative action cards or other things that would cost the student their money. So for example, if another player is trying to sue them, one of the block cards says like blocks a negative action up to 50,000. So if they're trying to sue them for like 40,000, they have to block the negative 50,000. They can just block that, and then the other student doesn't get anything. The chance card, so the block cards, they go up to certain dollar amounts, and those correlate with levels. So when you see when I talk about the developmental milestones, they match up. The complexity of the project I have them do matches up with how good the reward is. So like a level 1 project to get like a block up to negative 10,000 negative action is going to be a lot simpler than a level 5 project that blocks a 50,000 action. Okay. Chance cards. So these are earned through good classroom behavior. If you do like review games for tests, this is a really great thing to give out to the winners, whoever on the winning team. I played Jeopardy and Family Feud with my kids quite a bit. And this is a really great thing to give them that doesn't really cost you anything, like candy or that sort of thing. Also, when kids just complete really, really, really great high quality work. I have a couple of students who consistently put their all into every project I give them and just knock it out of the park. And I would love to be able to just give them these chance cards for that. Okay, I'm going to have to stop talking because I'm approaching my limit. Look for the second video picking up where this left off.